Good morning. Get all the animals taken care of and hoping to continue work on our sheep / goat tractor. There you go. Good morning, Luna. How are you, huh? You had a good bath yesterday. Clean. All that rain had you really dirty. So while we're out here, I'll go ahead and grab the duck eggs. Oh, there's one nest. I made these a little easy on us. There's one of their old spots. Since the chickens are such a nuisance while trying to milk, give them their feed inside the racking. Good morning. There you go. Morning, Cinnamon. So we are feeding hay in here as well as a little supplemental commercial feed to our mama pigs until we can get them back out on grass. These are our American breasts. We do have a couple of Brahmas, some Silkies in there, and what we hoped were Cayuga ducks, but they may be runner ducks. They certainly have that runner duck look, so I don't think we got lucky. They were an unlabeled breed at Tractor Supply, and you know how that is, you get what you get. We do have a couple of blue egg layers, cream leg bars in there as well. But we're going to see how these American breasts do as a alternative to the Rangers and Cornish cross. I mean, obviously feed ratios and time grow out is going to be significantly different, but we want to give it a shot instead of just going all in on the Cornish cross variety, just from a experimental how will it work as a now we'll go take care of the boy pigs. see, we don't give much grain. A little bit to the boys, most of it goes to the girls. I'm going to skim milk. I normally do that first thing in the morning. I didn't do it this morning. I got caught up drinking my coffee and watching the news, so I didn't skim. So I have to skim later, and then once I'm done skimming, I'll add the skim milk to the feed for it to soak throughout the day, and then we'll give that to them tonight. I'm gonna go grab a little bit of grain for Beulah. Actually not milking her this morning. But I do want to give her grain, simply because we're trying to wean her off of it, and it has proven to be quite the difficult task. Coming from a commercial dairy, and we know it can be done. We're working on it. But it's tough keeping weight on her. Plus, she's older. She's an older cow. So let's take a look at their paddock, see how it went. Do want to move their salt block out in the middle. Okay, so yesterday they were working in here all throughout this area. So they certainly cut this down. They haven't done much. A little bit in here, I can see some trampling, but they have quite a good bit left that they can eat on, especially in this back corner and throughout here, some in through there. I'm gonna get all this dealt with. I should have already cut it down. So much of it growing. I hated to come in and bush hog everything and cut away their forage, and in doing so I allowed all this to grow up in its place. So I think what I'm going to do, though, is cut this paddock size down. At least that way I can keep them off of here, because this has already been, wasn't much to begin with, in truth, because of where we were driving through. But there was certainly grass here, at least out in this area, not so much over here. But what there was, they certainly ate. So I don't want them to keep eating what little bit's here and mow it all the way around to just dirt, even though it's not much far from that. They have disturbed it some, massaged it, as Jill Salatin would say, with all the rain we've had, and of course the rain that's coming. I don't want it to get too bad. So I'm gonna move this, cut it off to where it forces them to work on that last bit over there. I'm learning from doing this is obviously hanging these heavy reels on a simple electric post that's not made for that kind of weight. Doesn't work out real well. But I didn't want to just start arbitrarily throwing up T-posts, and I'm still not 100% convinced on where I want to put them at. So I may put up a couple here or there as I go, but I wanted to make at least one run through this field so I could get some semblance of paddock size, kind of what's the best way to set this up, because I'm actually debating whether or not to basically install a wagon wheel or somewhat of a wagon wheel set up to where I can run my solar straight out in the middle of the field and branch it out every direction. And that's probably going to be the better way to go. But there's a couple of things. One, I need to make sure I have enough reels of rope, poly rope, to make this work, which I have bought a couple of more, and to gauge on movement of my shade mobile to the different paddocks. I am thinking that I can start with maybe moving the shade mobile around the wagon wheel on one go, but inevitably I need to move the shade mobile further out so that I don't get this concentrated lounge area of manure, which if I maintain a wagon wheel setup like that is what inevitably would probably happen. I can limit that a little bit by maybe move the salt block further out. Same thing with the water, but the problem is I do want my water coming from the shade mobile, so I don't have to bring water to the trough every single time on that side-by-side. I can come off of here, in which case I would need to have the water somewhat close, but not too close, not right up on it. I could come 100 feet out, and that might be enough to give me the travel distance. So at any rate, it's something that's going to be figured out as I go along. So that takes care of our morning chores over here. I head back, go milk the goats. Update, we are getting a new puppy today. We are getting a sibling of Luna's, a male. We obviously don't want them breeding, brother and sister, so we will need to get him fixed. But we felt like we needed a second dog. You know, we've been told, of course, they work better in pairs. Our thought was to find a unrelated male so that we could breed them. But we're really and truly not ready to have a bunch of puppies running around here as it is. We already have kittens we have to contend with.